Okay, this is a video about a police officer speeding in a 35-mile-an-hour zone here. When he makes a right turn, he thinks it's 25, but it's actually 30. He's doing 55 right now. He turns on there, he gets up to speeds of 50 on these side streets. But anyway, he's trying to find my daughter, who's been complained about riding the ATV up and down the street. He tries to pull her over, but she doesn't recognize him, and she goes off to my driveway without signaling, and he says he saw no registration. 2 traffic infractions, and he came up on the property 2 minutes after he lost sight of her, saying that she committed a crime, and all the things she did were crimes. And I contested that and said, no, it isn't. We don't have to give you any ID or name. Get off my property, etc., etc. Long story short, they went to her school, issued her a ticket. Her mother said she would have her not plead guilty and see what happens, but they pled guilty, because they were coerced into it, kind of. But anyhow, I got charged with obstructing justice and allowing a minor to drive without a license, and both those charges were dropped yesterday on the 17th of April 2017. But here's the incident.
That's just all cars on the road rage or traffic complaint from 6 ago. About 25 from the X line. Put at 833 Redmond, Georgia. It's just GMC Sierra, black in color. It's like the back axle, or one of the axles is broken.
Be on scene at the residence.
What did they say?
I believe they either went into 10897 or 10845.
What did they say?
So now he's going up to the next driveway, and he's on his way up to the next driveway because he lost sight of her, because you can't really see the curtilage of my home from his vantage point. He thought she might have went up to this other house. He goes up there, realizes that's not it. He has no legal standing to come on my property because he didn't see any crimes committed, but yet he chooses to drive up to the top of my driveway, where he then sees the ATV parked there, or supposedly the ATV. There are other red ATVs in the neighborhood that are real similar, and there's even one that's exactly like mine. But anyhow, he comes up to the top of the driveway, and when he gets up there, you'll see the ATV kind of in front of him. But you can't see nothing now. You can't see anything till he rounds this last corner up here and gets to the top of the driveway. You can't see my front door. You can't see my barn door. You couldn't see the garage being open. He had no right to be there. And your rights are what you think they are, what God gave you. I said, how can I help you?
Well, the young lady there riding the ATV out on the roadway is the subject of a traffic complaint. Okay. Anyway, riding with earbuds in is illegal, which is why you probably didn't hear me honking my horn with my lights activated. And then when you made the left turn to go in here and try to cross the property to get away from me, what does that look like? You couldn't hear me. How old are you? 16. You have a motorcycle endorsement? Public road, which does. Okay. Is the ATV, is that registered? Okay. So you can't operate on the public roadway at all. So I have to have insurance, have to be written by a licensed driver with motorcycle enforcement. That sort of thing. Your buds are also, like I said, illegal for any vehicle operating on a public roadway at all. Can I get your name real quick?
You don't need her name.
I'm in contact. I'm following up on an actual complaint.
She doesn't have to give you her name by her rights. She doesn't have to give you her name.
In fact, she does, because she committed a crime.
She didn't commit a crime.
Yes, she did.
Traffic infraction. That's not a crime.
All right, can I also have your name too, please, sir?
You can get off my property.
All right, I followed the vehicle onto the property, actually fleeing from a traffic violation. That in and of itself is a crime. Okay, she's committed the traffic violations on the public roadway. Whenever I'm investigating something like that, you do have a legal obligation to provide me your name, your date of birth, and why you're
not going to provide you anything. I wasn't out there.
Well, unfortunately,
All right.
I'm asking for a name and date of birth. Name and date of birth, sir, and I'll leave.
Call your supervisor, he'll tell you.
Very well.
Right now he's running license plates, and in his report he said that he ran 2 plates from inside the house garage, and I closed the door on him before he could get any more. Well, it's a 2-car garage. Do-do-do. Guy's a real intelligent person. Right now, if he knew anything about the law, he would leave my property, like I told him to. But he doesn't. He thinks he's got something.
All right.
He never told me not to touch the ATV. He never told my daughter not to go inside. She went inside on her own volition, and I put the ATV in the barn. He never tried to stop us or give us any lawful orders. Like I had to fucking listen anyway.
110 Adam.
110 Adam.
I'll be in contact with the driver. It's supposed to be 16-year-old female, refusing to identify herself, and thought it was unwanted.
109 Adam, can you have that bigger cover?
Head that way for cover. I'm being so violent. I'm really fucking scaring you, aren't I?
Well, I work, yeah.
You notice he never.
Be at
He never.
10-845, 10845 Pinewood Drive off of East Parker Road.
Okay. Very Park. No one's closer. Alright, well, I'll be out.
100 Blair, show you that 11 switch.
You notice he never called for a supervisor. They just automatically sent him one when he said I was being uncooperative. But the motherfucker's on my property. I don't have to be cooperative. There's nothing in the fucking law that says you have to cooperate. Matter of fact, this Constitution and my God-given rights say otherwise. I don't have to give him anything that incriminates me. Giving him my name incriminates me. Puts me fucking under his little thumb so he can write me fucking a summons or a ticket or take me to jail even. Whatever he thinks he can fucking do, he can't do shit on my fucking property, and I didn't let him, and he didn't do it. They tried. They fucking got me fucking for 2.5 months later with a fucking warrant.
That supervisor's on his way.
I tell him goodbye. Fucking asshole.
My boss is on his way.
Hey, let's find out the origin. Be back in with the written one.
132.
So he backs the car up here in a second, gets a better view of the house. I'm inside. My wife tells me he's still out there, so I go out there. And what happens is a lot of dialogue about how he's lawfully there and how I'm saying, fuck you, you're not lawfully here. My God-given rights, I don't have to tell you shit, neither does she. So on and so forth. He's been a cop for 8.5 years. What the fuck is he doing on the police force if he doesn't know how to fucking do his job? Misrepresenting the law. And then he lied in his police report. Hardly anything in this video that shows that I'm right, which there's a few things in there, he didn't put in this report. He told me at one point I wasn't being detained. He had no reason to detain me. I was right about my constitutional right to abolish all government, but yet he remained on my property when I told him that. He invaded my Fourth Amendment, which really doesn't give you much, of illegal search and seizure, because you cannot see the curtilage going down the street where every other passerby goes. They can't see it either. So therefore my privacy right expectation is much higher than the average person in a normal neighborhood. I live on 5 acres on top of a hill. Dude's a douchebag. He's related to Bilbo Baggins. He's douche Baggins.
I have the right to have you leave my property. She did not commit a crime.
But she did.
No, she didn't. It's not a crime.
Okay. It's also
There's a difference between a traffic infraction and a crime.
but both are subject to court. Both are subject to fines. Okay.
You did not chase her up here because she was in there talking to me for 5 minutes.
I just followed her into the driveway, and then when she came across the property, I had to figure out which driveway she was going to. It just happened to be this one. So when I came up here, I saw the ATV here. Obviously, I was right behind her out there. That's why I was able to recognize her with the hair and everything. And considering I was able to see her with the earbuds in when she made the turn to come into the up in here, that's how I was able to follow her here.
After 5 minutes later, she's in there talking to me for 5 minutes.
I have it all on camera, sir.
I don't care what you got.
All right.
You can get off my property.
My supervisor's on his way.
He can get off of it too, because it won't be criminal trespassing. I told you to leave.
I have a lawful reason for being here, sir. Yes, I do. I was brought into the area based on a traffic complaint. I observed the traffic complaint. I followed the traffic complaint to this residence. Your daughter's already admitted, and you also admitted that she was the one riding the
I said it
vehicle.
wouldn't happen again if it happened.
Okay. You already told me the vehicle, you just bought it, it's not registered. She doesn't have a driver's license. Okay. So it's an unregistered bike, all right, or ATV. Okay.
It's a registered ATV.
For operation on a public roadway, yes, you do.
Well, she was supposed to do it.
Okay. Well, nevertheless. All I was trying to do is collect some information so I could figure out
You
who I
don't have to
talked
ask
to.
me for my ID, because there's no reason for you to. Not one so
Well, right now,
right now.
you're interfering with things, all right? Your daughter being 16, I do have, at least certainly an attempt to contact the parents, but you haven't even, okay? You have no way of proving that to me yet,
I don't have to prove that to you.
okay? All I'm asking
I
for
don't
is
have
names.
to prove that to you.
Sir, all I'm asking for is a
You
name
don't
so I
need
can make
names.
some
I'm
notes.
not giving you names. You're not getting names. I don't care what you say. You're not getting them. I have the right to refuse to give you my name, and so does she, by our God-given rights.
Yep. And I also have the right to actually serve her a summons to appear in court if it
That's
came
what
down
there
to
is.
it. Well, then you're obstructing, then you're interfering with me.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you
No,
are.
I'm not.
Okay?
How am I interfering with you?
By not giving me name, which you're required to do.
I don't have to
okay?
give you a name for me. I do not.
Okay, I
You're
simply asked
full of
her,
crap.
but I do need to have her name.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
She told you, Miranda. That's all
No,
she
she
did.
didn't tell me that.
She did say that. You wrote it down.
I did not.
She said Miranda.
Okay, well, I don't have any names written down from anybody on this address for this incident.
Her name's Miranda, and that's all you're getting.
Okay. Well, like I said, my boss will be here if you have any questions or anything like that.
You're a summons for criminal trespassing. I asked you to get off my property. Actually, I told you to get off my property. And that's what you need to do.
Right now, I'm here for, like I said, a lawful reason.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Okay? And just because you don't want me,
Lawful reason.
just because you don't want
You
me
have to
talking to you.
suspect somebody committing a crime before you can ask them for their identification or their name.
Okay. She's committed a traffic violation. Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
It wouldn't be in statute for one
It's not a
crime.
crime.
All right.
It's
Issuing a summons is
traffic
arrest.
Coming down toward you guys,
activity and a traffic
Look on more white
I know that
than
you
blue.
Sir, understand.
Yeah.
Me issuing a citation on traffic.
Yeah, I just went by two, and he continued
I'm going to pause it here for a
It
second.
is.
all the way north.
He says that traffic infractions are crimes. Well, he says violations, but what he saw her do was infractions. He said they're crimes. I said, no, traffic infractions aren't crimes. He says it wouldn't be in the statute if it wasn't a crime. There's a lot of statutes that are not criminal, dumb fuck. And what she did is a couple of them. Infractions. Difference in infraction in violation or misdemeanor traffic. Big difference.
Meridian.
To appear in court in lieu of an arrest.
Okay.
It's like, it's not, you don't arrest people
Oh,
for running a red light or
We
it's
can't.
not an arrestable offense.
Yes, it is.
It's a summonsable offense.
Well, a summons is an arrest. By statute, definition, it is an arrest. The only difference is I'm not taking you to jail.
Somebody comes here and gives me a summons to go to court. It's not an arrest.
It is considered an arrest. Yeah.
Well, then somebody pulls it and runs
Yeah.
time.
No, it's not.
So,
You don't get arrested.
like I said, my supervisor's on his way, all right?
Yeah.
All I really wanted to do is collect the name, date of birth, so I could add some notes in,
Please be
let it go
advised,
with the warning, but you're the one doing
Warren
it.
Murphy will meet you by his
Well,
vehicle.
Our God-given rights, sir.
Right.
And you know that. You can ask all you want.
Well, then RP vehicle is going to be a 2000 silver Buick Regal.
My boss gets here, well, you're the one who wanted them. You're the one who requested
I know
them.
you're fine.
Okay?
I know you are right.
He's on his way.
I know my rights.
Okay, well, at least this way he'll get a sense for the...
Unalienable rights. And you're not going to violate any of them.
I'm simply asking
You're on
for,
private property.
which I followed someone committing traffic violations onto.
You're on private, you got to get her on the street, not here.
I did have her on the street, and I still have her recorded on the street.
So you got to get her stopped on the street.
No,
not here.
that does not. I can arrest somebody for a DUI out of the garage.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I've done it many times, and I've gotten convictions out of it each time. Well, I'm not worried about that.
Right. Everybody got violated.
If you didn't hear what was just said there, he said, I got convictions out of, or I've gotten DUIs, people right out of their garage. And I said, yeah, whatever, or something like that. He said, I've done it many times and I've gotten convictions each time. And I said, they don't know their rights. And he said, I'm not worried about that. I'll back it up with 7 seconds and you can hear it again. It's real hard to hear what I'm saying.
Convictions out of it each time. Well, I'm not worried about that. All right, well, my boss is on his way. At this point in time, no.
All search and rescue clear in Jackson Street Road.
All I'm looking for is a little bit of cooperation in there.
I tell him I don't have to cooperate.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, for traffic violations, she was. Your daughter was. Okay? You can go to jail for not providing IDs and stuff like that on traffic violations. Okay. All right, sir, you're right. You cannot. Okay?
Am I out there on the street on that thing? No. You have no right to ask me for my ID.
But I did have a right. I did have a right to ask for your daughter's ID. Okay. Well, then how do I get her name or any of that information? Okay.
She doesn't have to give me.
She does.
I don't run the street. I don't have to give you my name.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. I do not. You're wrong. You better check on that. You may think I do, but I don't. No, sir. I don't. I know. I know what my God-given rights are. Every man has the right to travel the streets of the life. As long as they haven't committed a crime, and it's not a crime to run a red light. Drive too fast. It's not a crime.
So you're saying you wouldn't stop or you wouldn't allow yourself to be pulled over for running a red light?
But I don't give you my name.
Okay. You still got to provide a driver's license to show that you are in fact someone who can operate a vehicle. Yes, you do. And anytime an officer has reasonable suspicion to believe that a person has or is about or has committed an offense, you're required to provide your name, your date of birth, and account for why you're there and what you're doing. Yes.
Not to provide shit, motherfucker.
And well, your constitutional rights and laws say otherwise.
Nope.
And I do.
That's true.
The soul right. Now I'm a soul. Let's say soul. It's the soul right. I have the soul right to abolish it. And I've done that, and I've asked you to jump my rock.
So what you're saying right now is you're not recognizing any authority I may have under the law. I do.
None whatsoever.
When I'm following someone and I had in fresh...
No authority on this property. when I abolish all government on my property, you have no authority. That's my constitutional right to the state of Colorado and the United States government.
101. Can you real quick?
111.
846 Green Lane Extra.
I don't even remember what I'm saying here, but I'm sure I'm telling him some shit that's awfully correct. And he's in his car trying to get his...
My constitutional right gives me a lot more than I know. And I enforce my rights. And that's my God-given right, my constitutional right, my state constitutional right.
I've already explained my position at this, okay?
Ask all you want. And that's why you ask. Because you're not asking, you're asking your question.
111. You purchased Queen William X-ray coming back no record. Do you want me to check master file?
846.
1052.
I never do shit unless they demand me to do it with a weapon pull. They can kiss my fucking ass. Right between the cheeks.
Yeah. Jordan and Lincoln.
You can only commit a crime by harming someone or their property. Period. These fucking statutes are bullshit, motherfuckers. We're coming after you. We're going to fight every one of them. I am. I don't know about everybody watching this video or however many people will even watch this video. But when you see this video,
1153.
I'm going today to get my my whole sheet of everything they entered into the record. All the clerk's enters of the record, and it's going to say case dismissed on obstructing justice. Oh yeah.
I haven't detained you, sir. You're right, I have no reason to detain you.
106 Adam Parker.
Well, you know, things can be said the other way around, too, sir.
Hey, you were
Invited up here,
Okay? No, I followed your daughter up here.
153.
5 minutes after she got here,
It wasn't 5 minutes.
it was at least 2 or 3 minutes. I hear
So?
she stood there and talked to me.
Yeah. Well, I had pulled into the driveway, and then when she went coming across the land here, I had to figure out which property she was trying to access. So I ran up here, realized this address wasn't it, came back and came to the driveway, saw your daughter, or saw the AT there, and the daughter, or your daughter who was riding it.
Not when you came to the top of the
That's why I had to
driveway,
verify
asshole.
what's going on.
Smart person, I think I just sit and wait until she stopped out there where I could see her instead of driving off over the driveway. It's all private property.
So when someone has,
Fence around the place, you won't be able to get up there. You jump the fence, it's never going to be right out of the gate.
if I am following someone who's committed an offense, I can do that. It's riding without a driver's license, riding without a motorcycle endorsement, riding an unregistered, presumably uninsured vehicle and stuff are all traffic offenses. Yes, you do. On a public roadway, it has to be registered.
Never seen an ATV
They
with a
happen,
license
or you can
plate.
get them with the stickers that are put on usually the gas tank. Can be.
Bullshit.
As long as it's registered through the Department of Natural Resources.
Department of Natural Resources says when you register an ATV, it cannot be ridden on the street, period, unless you're traversing a culvert or crossing the street. My daughter was traversing a culvert. It also says you don't have to have a driver's license to do that. This guy don't know shit from apple butter. And those of you who don't know what apple butter looks like, it looks like shit, but it tastes real good.
Going to the trash, and they're still working on it. They're 10-4, we just called in. What was it, 16 feet truck?
Number 16.
Take way surrounding.
155. Charlie, that's just 111.
Stand on my right. Why don't you just leave the car and go down?
Because now I'm afraid it's kind of elevated a little bit, hasn't it?
Elevated to what?
Well, now, I mean, you're interfering with what you are.
Telling you I'm not giving you my name. She didn't give
You
you.
locked your bike away so I can't get the ATV so I can get the information on it. You locked your daughter inside the house, or told her to go inside the house. You refused to allow her to give me her name and date of birth, which I could have just worked with that way anyway. All right? You have refused to give me any of your information whatsoever as her father.
I'm just not doing it. I don't have to give you my information. You're dead wrong.
Okay.
I
Right.
know what my rights are, Sister Wolf.
I don't necessarily have to get your ID, but as her father, it would be useful. Because I mean, if I were to issue her a citation right now, you'd still have to appear in court with her. So I can document that I spoke with you and.
We don't want you to document. We don't have to let you document.
Okay, I don't know how to work.
I put it away. My daughter went in the house. You didn't say don't go in the house. You didn't say don't put that away. You didn't tell everybody to do anything.
No, you walked away and you did it before I could.
It's my property.
It is.
I do what I want around here.
All right. On your property, that's fine. Out there, you can do whatever you want. Okay, but your daughter did. And I have an obligation to at least identify who she is and that sort of thing. She does. We can always ask.
And I'm sorry, case number is 1200, that's 1200. Show you notified
If you're being stopped for some sort of traffic offense or violation or whatever, then you're required to provide a driver's license.
Go ahead.
Yes, the state is sending a supervisor down to the town. They should be there shortly.
What was the 6
Okay. Which rights are those?
Or the 16.
Okay, so in other words, what you're saying is you are
Library.
not
I'm enforcing my God-given constitutional right. It says right in our state constitution, the sole right to abolish all government. Not souls, but soul. Soul is an individual person's soul. And that's me. And I do that.
Copy that, 57.
Especially when it comes to
so you don't acknowledge the United States government or the state
I acknowledge them, but I don't have to deal with them, especially on my property.
Hold on, Adam.
You don't have to, unless I've committed a crime.
History search shows that.
traffic violations are actually crimes still. You can still go to jail for traffic violations. Yes, it is.
Showing date of person was 8/13 of 14.
Driving an unregistered vehicle on a public roadway without a driver's license, right, with the earbuds on and everything else, those are all separate traffic offenses.
There's no jail time, so how's it a crime?
There can be jail time attached to some of those.
Based on like that 16 of 96,
The insurance?
Time, yes.
Doesn't matter. The insurance statute, though, is just an uninsured vehicle. That's jailable. Driving without a driver's license is jailable. You may not actually be sentenced to jail, but you can be jailed.
Further 16 covered library.
All I wanted to do was just get her name so I could just log that, hey, I contacted so-and-so, this is what I talked about, and this is the deal. Okay? But now you're stepping in. After your daughter who was out here on the roadway. After we've got multiple complaints from your neighbors about the ATV being on the road.
Traffic 52 on First Park.
I kind of got that sentiment too.
He is in Helena. Oh, that's what you good traffic, everything. He is in Helena.
Sure. This is my first time out here. It's my first time in contact with you. So none of that means anything to me because I've not had any direct contact with you before. But it is.
1, 2, 998, wait for a second.
He was coming from, unfortunately, he's coming from Lone Tree.
Couple one.
Yep. When I last talked to him, he said he was Lincoln and Jordan, so hopefully he'll be here in a few minutes. But, you know, I could have gone. If you were one of the other neighbors, hypothetically, and roll the reverse a little bit.
There's other neighbors that have golf carts that drive up down the street all the time.
Okay, well, then I don't understand why, you know, I don't know what prompted them to call me, other than they say maybe it's an ongoing issue or whatever. I have no idea who called. They wanted to remain anonymous.
That was from Officer Graham. Right.
Okay, well.
We also have civil problems, citizen assist welfare check.
After 8 o'clock at night, she's all the time.
Okay, you got anyone else?
I was going to have a wood chip here. There was a wood chip down there. That was a big seat mud.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Came up there and it was like...
And if I want to check, the brother is downstairs.
88 decibels might have been real close to the limit of what I was pushing with the tutor, but I was doing some work around my house.
4 o'clock in the afternoon, I can't say that I really would have bothered with it much.
Time 12, too.
Control, I'm clear my jail.
I don't know who called. I don't have any history out here. I mean, I've been working in other districts far longer, so
I don't know why, because you suck ass as a cop.